Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nick KyogreKauai and we are here doing an IBA VGC battle against Rebel. This is the grand finale, the finals of IBA VGC Season 2. We both made it here into the playoffs and this is battle number 1. I am recording this post-com. I didn't record my audio and anything while I was battling. I really wanted to be just really focused on the battle and I thought it might be fun to kind of commentate over the video. So I'm watching my battle back. Obviously, I recorded the battle when we did it, and now I'm watching it back and giving you guys my thoughts and commentary as we go through. So Rebel and I have battled a lot throughout our time in VGC. I shouldn't say VGC. I meant Draft League, but like we've done one. We both did IBA VGC Season 1. And now here we got Season 2. So I went with the Regieleki and Palkia lead, with Blastoise and Incineroar in the back. Fun fact about my team is I brought Swampert and I brought Wide Guard. I forgot that Glastrier doesn't get Glacial Lance like Calyrex Ice Rider does. I just completely that's what I forgot Glastrier is good, but it doesn't get the spread type attack. It's more of a Dynamax, Pokemon take advantage of those powerful moves versus like the spread type attack of Calyrex Ice Rider. So I digress. So we lead off here. I feel pretty good about this lead. Regieleki and Palkia, because one thing I know is that I outsped. I either guaranteed outsped Necrozma with Palkia, or I just knew I have Electroweb for speed control. So I felt pretty good here that I could just click Electroweb and do stuff, but I also have Reflect. So this Regieleki is very supportive with Rain Dance and Electroweb and Reflect. The only damaging move it has is Electroweb and Volt Swish. Right here in this battle, I actually put Bulk Up on Palkia instead of Breaking Swipe. They both start with B, and when I was building Palkia's moveset for this battle, I put Bulk Up. So that kind of threw me off because Breaking Swipe is nice. It lowers the attack. I was going to kind of consider clicking Reflect and then Breaking Swipe just to really lower their attack. And I had Rest. So I was a really bulky Palkia set. Supposed to be Breaking Swipe, Rest with a Chesto Berry, and then Hydro Pump and Trick Room. But I messed that all up with Bulk Up because Bulk Up, boosts my defense, but doesn't help my special attack at all. And as Palkia, obviously my only damaging move was Hydro Pump. So yeah, that was not really helpful. I realized I need to move my camera mid video editing here. Hello. This is why recording live is so much fun. So I was so thrown off by the Stealth Rocks that Rebel, would use, just because Stealth Rocks is not what you expect and not really something that's very viable in VGC. And I know Rebel knows how to play VGC. So I thought it was an interesting bring because it really does punish all the switching I could do with Incineroar. And he was probably very worried about Intimidate cycling and Parting Shot because he has a lot of physical attackers. And that's exactly why I made sure to bring Incineroar with Intimidate and Parting Shot. So it definitely affected that. All right, we get the Reflect up here. I finally get a Hydro Pump off. Turn 1, my Hydro Pump went into the Protect of the Arcanine. But I land a huge... Hydro Pump just does insane damage. But now the Snarls start coming out. I get crit, which is, unfortunate. But I pretty bulky. And this Arcanine must not be very offensive either. And then I know, Photon Geyser comes out. So big damage. But it is Life Orb, I find out it's not Weakness Policy pretty early on, which is good to know because Weakness Policy Necrozma is so good and so scary to deal with when you can't hit it super effectively. So I just want to knock it out. I think I go for the Volt Switch. And I'm low on HP, so I'm considering going for Rest since I have the Rest with a Chesto Berry. But let's see. I don't remember what I end up going with this turn. I think, it looks like I might just, so we just go, I think we go for kind of trying to just do as much damage as possible. Simba switches out into the Ditto. The Ditto that Rebel had is also a very scary threat because, again, he just got another legendary Pokemon basically by transforming into my Palkia. Volt Switch, I mean, Regieleki just insane damage. Only neutral, not even super effective, but did like almost half to Ditto there. Thankfully, Ditto is not as bulky as my Palkia because it copies all the other stats, but it still has Ditto's HP stat. Little fun fact about Ditto. Most people that play competitive battles of Pokemon probably know that, but I remember being like pretty shocked the first time I learned. We Volt Switch into Blastoise because Blastoise just, again, fantastic matchup here, especially because I know this Palkia only has Hydro Pump. We miss our Hydro Pump, unfortunately, and Scorching Sands comes out into Blastoise, not doing much damage. I do get burned, though, but thankfully, you know, Blastoise, my Blastoise is trained to be a special attacker, so the burn doesn't bother me too much. And I have the Cannonade. That's kind of what I brought the Blastoise to be a Dynamax, a G-Max Cannonade set to just kind of like, yeah, that chip damage from Cannonade is so good. Let's see. Sorry, I had to adjust the music a little bit, and now I'm again debating what I want to do because like this moveset is just so weird. Like I don't do any damage to Palkia because all I have is Hydro Pump. I don't have a Dragon type attack, and also what's kind of interesting is Rebel now can see my really weird moveset because the Ditto copied everything about my Palkia, including its moves. So he knows that I only have Hydro Pump. So good thing is like I can't do anything to Palkia, but Palkia really can't do, or the Ditto, I should say, but Ditto can't do anything back to my Palkia or my Blastoise. So we're going to G-Max because I figured, okay, maybe we can just knock out the Arcanine here in one hit. I didn't really want to start getting snarled a ton, and I just wanted to get the damage down on the board and have the damage start ticking continuously every turn with the G-Max Cannonade. So that's what I was kind of going for, but I knew Snarl from Arcanine would just keep lowering my special attack. We do click Rest here. Get ourselves fully healthy. Back to full HP, and then we get to show off the Chesto Berry strat. I haven't done like a Resto Chesto, as you call it, in a long time. Yeah, I knew that my Blastoise was going to be slower than Arcanine here, which was unfortunate, so I had to eat up the special attack drop. But I did successfully, in exchange, I felt like it was a good exchange because I got the Cannonade off. It's just unfortunate that would have KO'd the Arcanine if I wouldn't have been hit by whatever it's called, the Snarl. And then there is a Trick Room. But here's the thing that I found out after the fact. You don't really know at this point in the battle, but Rebel told me that his Palkia, his Ditto, who transformed into Palkia, was Choice Scarf. So after clicking Trick Room this turn, it had to either click Trick Room again or switch out. So that's kind of makes this next turn very interesting, knowing that in hindsight. But the Trick Room was really just good to get his Glastrier set up because now that thing is a huge threat. But I think I still have the Reflect set up. And I was able to get my Palkia back to full HP. And this turn I actually clicked Trick Room because I figured, okay, if I can limit the Glastrier to only having Trick Room for one turn, that would be pretty huge to reverse the Trick Room. It is going to Dynamax. And like again, this is exactly what you don't want to, you don't want to have Trick Room be up against Glastrier, where it can just kind of steamroll through your whole team, getting an attack boost from its ability every time it gets a KO. Basically Moxie, but yeah, Grimnay, I think is what it's called. So I didn't want that to happen. I was surprised that they Max Wormwind, but Palkia being such a bulky Palkia, and I don't remember if Reflect is up at this point or not, but either way, either thanks to the Reflect or the combination of Reflect and just the natural stats, bulky stats I put into this Palkia, able to live the Max Wormwind. I'm able to do a Max Wormwind of my own, get a crit, and KO the Necrozma, which I don't know if that would have KO'd anyway or not, but either way, I get the KO and subsequently lower the attack stat of Glastrier, and I get to reverse the Trick Room. So I just felt so happy about that turn. Palkia surviving was so clutch, getting the KO on Necrozma while also lowering the attack. Which is huge. I've just been able to shut down the Glastrier basically with that one turn. I got rid of Trick Room, I lowered its attack, and I prevented it from getting a knockout and boosting its attack. So it's like that turn couldn't have gone better for me as far as stopping Glastrier. And now again, this the Ditto just comes in and copies my Palkia that ironically like has such a bad move set because it can't even touch, it can't even touch anything on my side of the field. So now Trick Room's not up. I know I'm faster, and I'm just like, all right, well now I'm just gonna go for damage because I'm faster. So let's just, I have 2 Pokemon left in the back. I knew one of them was Incineroar of my own, so I was like, I know I should be able to clean this game up, or I felt pretty confident that I could do some work here. So just decided to go for the damage. I mean, Hydro Pump does like nothing to Blastoise. We get a little bit of damage with Hydro Pump on Glastrier, and then, but really the big thing is this: another Max Wormwind takes out the Ditto for 1. I don't have to worry about the Ditto doing any other shenanigans anymore, and just continually lowering Glastrier's attack. So it really can't do much to me. Another Max Wormwind. I think they use this, to knock out Palkia, get an attack boost. And then, from here, it's a pretty easy win with Incineroar, Parting Shot, and the fact that I still have Blastoise. I think overall, Glastier's only at -1, because I think it's still at -1, because it was at -2 from the 2. I had Reflect that whole time. I think, that wasn't even not even Light Clay. Regieleki's holding the Focus Sash, so that was just 5 turns of Reflect right there. But that's the thing about VGC is this game, this match is almost over, or this this game of the set is almost over, and my Reflect lasted the whole time. So Reflect just giving me so much value in game 1 here. Now Blastoise is low. I was worried about, getting kind of steamrolled if Glastrier could keep getting boosts. So I was deciding if I wanted to switch out or just go for a Scald. And I was like, you know what? I really should have clicked another Reflect. Looking back at it, I think here a Reflect would have been a better play from Regieleki, but I decided to just try to get as much damage, I think, as possible out of Scald, hoping for as much damage and maybe even a burn. So we do click Rain Dance on Regieleki. Looking back on it, maybe Reflect was the better play. But either way, I felt really confident about this kind of end game here because of the attack stat of Glastrier being lowered. But it actually does get a little scary here. Max Hailstorm comes out and gets the KO on Regieleki, giving it another attack boost. I think taking it back to neutral at this point. But yeah, I mean, Regieleki maybe would have survived that if I would have just clicked Reflect. And, the extra damage from the rain being up didn't really help me. I was actually glad that the rain went away because I thought about it some more. My last Pokemon here, Blastoise is about to go down. It's on low HP. And all I have is my Incineroar. And, the best move I have is Flare Blitz. And if it was raining, then it would have actually just helped Rebel's Glastrier survive the Flare Blitz. So... But I felt pretty good. Got another Intimidate. I was like, okay, Dynamax is over. I think we got this thing to -1. I knew its best way to damage Incineroar would probably be a ground type attack. I'm holding the Shucka Berry, so that that would come in clutch. I also do have Blastoise here with a Hydro Cannon I can go for. So knowing that I was faster here, and I also have Fake Out Pressure, like I felt good, but it definitely got a lot closer. Like I felt like I was in a much more commanding position. After the first few turns of the game, and even all the way up until the last turn, I felt really confident. But then Glastrier knocking out my Regieleki in one hit and then getting another attack. It's just scary. It's so scary how fast Glastrier can steamroll you if you don't have a guaranteed like win condition against it. And I was also worried, if I don't KO it and I do a super effective damage to it, I still don't know if it's weakness policy or not. So that scared me. But thankfully, we Fake Out, and Hydro Cannon just does pick up the final KO. So that was game 1. We took game 1. Blastoise dies to recoil damage from Life Orb. So just Incineroar left standing on my side. So again, I felt like it was a much more commanding battle in my favor earlier on, but Glastrier really brought it back there. And I think the one turn where Rebel decided to use Ditto, copying Palkia to set up Trick Room for Glastrier, recognizing that my team was probably pretty fast. Yeah, that was a good decision. I had to think fast and I had to react quickly to reverse the Trick Room the next play, or else I think Glastrier could have swept me. But like I said, a couple key things there, like the reflect. So I actually have Reggie steal with the Iron Ball. Like if I felt that Rebel was going to go for a Trick Room, I knew that I couldn't be slower than anything unless I ran like an Iron Ball on something. So Iron Ball Registeel was in the off chance of Trick Room. This time I went with Regieleki and Blastoise because I recognized how good Blastoise was in that game and like how good the Cannonade damage is. So I decided, you know, I was like, okay, maybe, you know, and I also decided to switch it up when I realized that my Palkia had the wrong moveset, did not have Breaking Swipe, rather Bulk Up. So I was like, all right, Palkia did not provide as much value, but really definitely did help in a lot of key moments. The damage from Hydro Pump and surviving the max, you know, basically stalling out a turn of Dynamax, being super bulky and sticking around and just being able to heal off all the damage with rest. Like, I shouldn't discredit Palkia from game one. It just wasn't. It obviously it did all that, still not even having the right move set that I intended, which I think just goes to show the awesome strength of Palkia and the effectiveness of the way that I was able to build it kind of bulky. So I locked in my Pokemon pretty early here, and Rebel had to take his time and think of how he wanted to counteract, you know, my team. I definitely think like the turn one Stealth Rock play, or whenever Stealth Rock was clicked, like Stealth Rock didn't really provide him much value because I didn't end up having like a whole very switch heavy game, but I also kind of realized I couldn't be switching around because Stealth Rocks were set up. So kind of an easier strategy to try to avoid in double battles. But I was still very interesting and like I had to be, you know, cautious of it. This time, Rebel led off with the Glastrier and Silvally, and Silvally is just scary because you just never know what type it is until you actually get to face it. So we find out that it's Fairy type, and I'm deciding what I want to do here because the Glastrier, you know, it's a completely different lead than the last game, but I realized like, okay, nothing is really resists Cannonade and I should be faster. At least I thought I was faster. I actually don't even remember now how this turn played out, but I knew Blastoise was at least faster than the Glastrier for sure. But I wasn't confident of Silvally's like, you know, speed stat at this time because Rebel didn't bring Silvally out to the last battle at all. So I wasn't paying attention. I didn't see what I lock in there. I think I go for Cannonade with Blastoise. Either way, yeah, we definitely G-Max. Big Blastoise looking awesome. Really cool design. Just makes Blastoise look like really intimidating. And all those cannons are just, yeah, very, very intimidating. So it's actually a, you know, turn one Dynamax from both of us here, which is always interesting to see. You know, both of us really just wanted to pick up the pace. That last match was kind of like slow and down to the wire. So I think both of us were eager to kind of like get an early lead here, if possible. All right, so both Dynamaxes, G-Maxes have happened. Yep, I think I went for the Electroweb because I was not sure of Silvally's speed stat. So I lower their speed. I also get a crit, a very lucky crit on Frankenstein the Silvally there, and bring it down to like half HP. I should have just doubled into it, but I wanted to get as much damage to Glastrier as possible just because it's such an intimidating Pokemon. That's Life Orb damage from Blastoise. I think I had like max special attack, but it was like slow. I think it was like bulky special attacking Blastoise because again, we don't even, you know, from a double up we take just over half of our HP from getting hit by both moves from the opponent's side. But I mean, yeah, the Cannonade damage is going to start racking up. So we got both of the opposing Pokemon under at half HP the first turn. Only one of our Pokemon left. So we came out of that turn doing more damage than we took. I was trying to figure out, like, do I go for damage with Regieleki? Do I, like, click Rain Dance to, you know, make my next Cannonade even stronger and maybe get the KO? But I think I decided to split my damage. I felt like I could KO, Silvally with a Volt Switch and also reposition. to take less damage from. I think I just go right into Incineroar to like take less damage from the next max move. Yep. So that is what I do. So now, now that Stealth Rocks isn't up, I was able to kind of freely pivot, which is definitely why I brought the Volt Switch and, Parting Shot Incineroar, is to be able to switch around like that. It's such a good strategy. So I knew that Cannonade probably wasn't going to get the KO here on Glacier based on how much damage it did the first time. But we just wanted to, keep the damage up. Figured the Cannonade would KO it either this turn or like a next turn. We survived that Wormwind because for sure, I wasn't sure if I was going to survive that Wormwind without the Intimidate. So I wanted to make sure I got the Intimidate. Allowing Blastoise to survive for one more turn. And now Glacier is like really low on HP. He's not going to be able to do very much for the rest of the game. And we've already knocked out the Silvally, so we definitely have a lead here, another early lead. I'm able to fake out or Parting Shot something, so I think I decided to just fake out that Necrozma. I always forget Necrozma's name because there's 3 different versions of Necrozma. Well, technically 4. So I think we fake out Necrozma and then just go to finish off the Glacier. Obviously trying to predict a Protect here because I think it's very likely that one of these 2 Pokemon were to click Protect. But I decided to split it. I decided to fake out the Necrozma and I think Wormwind. Yeah, I went for Wormwind here on Glacier because I already have the Cannonade set up. I was confident that a little bit more of damage, all I needed was Wormwind to finish off Glacier, and it also provided an attack drop onto Necrozma. So really good turn. Again, Necrozma did nothing and ended up at -1 attack. So yep. And then takes Cannonade damage, which, gosh, yeah. But the max moves of Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur were absurdly overpowered. They're so good. So now Alakazam comes out, and this thing, I know the main reason he brought it, I knew, was because Alakazam got like Trick Room and Speed Swap. It's very fast, like faster than my whole team pretty much, besides Regieleki with Speed Swap. So I was definitely predicting that coming. So again, just trying to preserve Incineroar for another Intimidate and to continually lower Necrozma's attack. I go for another Parting Shot. And then I think I just went for damage with Blastoise because Blastoise was so low on HP. I didn't want to switch out and save it just because it was slower at this point. And yeah. So the only, Earthquake comes out from Necrozma, which is, going to do super effective damage, but the Shuka Berry eats it up. It does finish off Blastoise, but it almost KOs. It does, like, almost all the HP to Alakazam. So, that's the risk when you use Earthquake. And Incineroar survives to get a Parting Shot out and then can, switch back in and Intimidate. So we're just, really, really mitigating the damage coming from Necrozma as much as possible. We just go right into Regieleki. And then I have either Registeel or Incineroar in the back. I mean, Registeel could have came out, and I don't think, I could have just kept switching Regieleki and Incineroar back and forth, and then, like, Registeel would just be so, so bulky, and the attack stat of Necrozma would be, like, so low that I think, Registeel could have won the game. But I just go out into Regieleki and Incineroar because I felt like this endgame was much more concise. Like, I wasn't really worried about, a comeback happening at this point because I felt like I just had such a commanding position. Alakazam just didn't really have anything to do besides Speed Swap, and once that happened, it was just getting KO'd by its own Earthquake, which was just kind of a bummer. But again, Alakazam doesn't do that much besides, damage, and this one wasn't really built as like a special attacking cannon. So waiting to see this like final. I don't remember how quick this game ended or went on for, but I feel like it was pretty close to wrapping up from here, just because of all the damage being dealt and all the attack drops on Necrozma. Yeah, it just wasn't really doing much damage at this point. Fake Out almost KOs Spoons there, the Alakazam. Then I also missed an Electroweb. Alakazam would have gone down there. Necrozma's getting really low on HP, and Photon Geyser comes out. Big damage to Regieleki, but, you know, able to survive just because of all those attack drops. Faked out the Alakazam, so it couldn't move. I just decided to click Reflect. I guess I wanted to make sure I survive another Earthquake. I would imagine is what I was thinking. So there's another Earthquake. Does KO the Alakazam. Doesn't KO Regieleki or Incineroar because of the Reflect I set up. And I think I just finished the game off here with a Flare Blitz. So we won IBA VGC Season 2 with the 2-0 victory against Rebel. It was a really fun season. I want to thank everybody who participated in the season alongside me, all the other coaches. Their links are down in the description of this video, so I definitely recommend checking out everybody's channel if you guys have the time. But definitely go check out Rebel's channel. Watch his side of the battle. He posted it a few days earlier than I did. He posted it on time, I should say. I am late to uploading. Just been crazy busy with life. Life happens and gets busy. So I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Maybe you guys like this style of video. So if you enjoyed the kind of post commentary chill video of my own battle footage, then, you know, let me know. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys enjoyed how this style of video was put together, and also leave a like if you enjoyed. But definitely thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.